Hello, and welcome to the Singapore Linguistics Olympiad YouTube channel. This is the first video in our upcoming series about the Singapore Linguistics Olympiad. This first video answers the question, what is a Linguistics Olympiad? And what is expected of participants in this Olympiad? We start with a brief history of Linguistics Olympiads in the world. The first unofficial Linguistics Olympiad began in Moscow, Russia, and they tested pattern recognition using language puzzles. Later, there was enough global interest in this sort of exam, and the International Linguistics Olympiad came to be in 2002 and has since been held yearly. For Singapore, the most recent Singapore Linguistics Olympiad was hosted in 2021 under the auspices of the Singapore University of Technology and Design. This map shows all the countries that have participated in at least one International Linguistics Olympiad since it started in 2002. The countries in dark blue are the countries which have hosted at least one International Linguistics Olympiad on their territory to date. Linguistics Olympiads aim to promote linguistics as a subject to students by exposing them to different ideas in the field. Linguistics Olympiads also want to develop an interest and appreciation for the diversity of languages, heritage, and cultures around the world. And finally, Linguistics Olympiads want to develop skills in logical thinking, pattern recognition, and creative reasoning. You will see how these aims are achieved later on in this video. Moving on to the organizational structure of Linguistics Olympiads in the world. There are three levels: the national, regional, and international Linguistics Olympiads. National Olympiads are selection rounds to choose the people who will be sent to the regional and international Olympiads. The regional and international Olympiads encompass many more countries, of course, and their purpose is to build a community of like-minded individuals and to foster friendly competition and amity between countries and peoples. This year, the Singapore Linguistics Olympiad will have 3 questions to be completed in 3 hours. The working language of the SLO will be English. Please answer all the questions in English. Please note also, you do not need to be fluent in any other language besides English. You do not need any knowledge of linguistics terminologies, although we do advise that you pick up some. Most importantly, all the information needed to answer the questions is in the questions. So let's talk about those questions. Linguistics Olympiads questions are made of 2 parts, a dataset and the actual questions. The datasets contain words, phrases, and sentences in another language with the translations into the working language, in our case, English. Then, based on the given data, you might need to translate new sentences from the unfamiliar language into the working language, or vice versa, or complete other tasks as may be specified. Let's see some examples of questions. This is a question from the 2010 International Linguistics Olympiad. At the top, you see expressions in an unfamiliar language, followed by numbers. Your task is to determine which numbers correspond to which expressions. To do this, you will need to find patterns in the expressions that could let you guess what the numbers they represent could be. Then you need to write out in numerals these new expressions, and then vice versa. You write these numbers in the expressions. Here is a different type of question from 2021's IOL. In this question, you have words in an unfamiliar language along with their English translations. Your task is then to translate these new unseen unfamiliar words into English, and then vice versa. New English expressions into the unfamiliar language. And here is another question from 2020's IOL. This is the same type of question as the previous one that we saw. However, there is a twist. The twist comes in part C of this question, because you have two words in the unfamiliar language that have multiple translations. You may therefore need to find a few more patterns than you might have been expecting. I would also like to bring your attention to the last two lines of this question. These lines explain what the language you are looking at is, its genealogy, where it is spoken, and by how many people. In this way, the Linguistics Olympiad brings to your attention the diversity of languages in the world. That concludes our brief introduction to Linguistics Olympiads. We have planned a series of upcoming videos in which we will go through words, morphemes, language sounds, and finally phrases and sentences. We hope you stay tuned, and good luck on your Linguistics Olympiad journey.